Alpha.
How long did it take for you to see a profit?
We started seeing a profit actually. It was about 6 months in. We started seeing a consistent profit. So the way you're able to usually structure a lease is you usually get a few months free where you don't pay rent on the beginning. So depending on how you can structure a lease, you can either negotiate like a scaled rent where you pay less upfront as your business grows, or possibly just get a few months free on the front side of it. So we had 2 months free at the beginning of our lease, and it took about 6 months to get a consistent profit. I mean, we weren't like losing a ton of money. I worked out a pretty good lease on this space. We took it pretty much as is, and all the renovations that we did to it, I did myself, which I think growing up, like working on like my grandpa's family farm, like I knew what hard work was, and like I wasn't afraid to do it myself. So like even in our new addition we just did, I laid all the flooring, I did all the painting, I did a lot of the stuff myself. So it took about 6 months to see a consistent profit, but like I said, when you were used to being broke, we just kind of kept all the profits and put it back into the business. So that way we could reinvest that into some more equipment as our member base grew, and then just establishing a nice little savings account, for in case the market changes or you have a couple bad months. So that way you're not like worried you're not going to make payroll or anything like that.
And in those 6 months, is there anything that puts you into that successful place? Anything that you did that turned the profit?
Well, I think opening a gym in July did not help.
Probably
It's
not.
probably the worst time to open a gym.
Yeah.
I mean, it's beautiful outside, and you're trying to convince people to, no, come inside, out of the fresh air and sunshine. Come work out in here. So we actually had a really big boost about 6 months after we opened, but that's also because it was that November, December timeframe where people were looking to get back into the fitness industry. So we took the first like 4 or 5 months and kind of got our name out there a little bit.
And how'd you do that?
We did a direct mailer to start, which was good in the fact that, like, honestly, if one person joined the gym off that direct mailer, it would pay for itself, over the course of that membership. But it just got our name out there. Even if people look at it and throw it in the garbage, they read our name. So that way, when they heard it again, it wasn't the first time they heard it. So they could call back to it and be like, yeah, I've heard of that place.
Yeah.
Where is it again? Or what do they do? But at least put our logo and got our name in front of someplace. So the direct mailer was the first thing we did. And then we just hit social media as much as we could. I mean, I had a lot of free time throughout the day because we had very few people working out with us.
Yeah.
But it was slow and steady growth that we had. I think a lot of it was just, reinvesting in our members that we had. We spent a ton of time with every member to provide what I thought big box gyms couldn't do. And that was, when you walk in the door, like, I'm not just going to say, hey, welcome to the gym. It was, hi, like Sarah or Ashley or Mark, and specifically by name, and, remember stuff about them. How was your trip? How was this? And that personal touch that I think a lot of big box gyms lose. I made that my number one focus on making sure that people felt like this wasn't just a place they came to work out, but this was a place that like really knew them. If somebody, maybe they were training for a half marathon and they had some tight IT bands along the way, so like they were trying to avoid some of the movements that aggravated it. I would already have, like, I knew they were coming to that class. I would already have like a different move set up for them when they got there, so that way, I was prepared for it, and they knew like, wow, like he remembers that, he knows that, like he's got me covered. It was almost like I wanted to make sure that every person in the room felt like they were the only person in the room.
Was that a skill that you had to learn, or that you learned through the big box gyms?
I don't necessarily feel like I had to learn it. I feel like that's the way I always wanted to be treated.
Sure.
And, what do they say? Do unto others as
you want to be done unto you.
As you want to be done unto. Something along those
lines. The golden rule, we call it.
It's the same point. It's that philosophy. I wanted to treat people with that personal aspect, and that's really what started making things steamroll. Is we got a few members in the door, and it was a lot of word of mouth. The first year, most of our members came because like, hey, I'm friends of Tara, or I'm friends of Kyle, and it's like they just would come right in because like it was all referrals.
Sure.
Now it's a very different story. Now we have, people just blindly inquiring and blindly buying memberships, having never been here before, just because there's a lot of buzz around the gym now, which is fantastic. But back then, it really was the hard work we put in on the ground floor to build, the quality of the brand, which I think no matter what business you do, you got to be, not only a 5-star on, Google, Yelp, and all those things, but you actually have to be 5 stars in person every day.
Yeah. That's what people don't understand.
Yeah.
Be 5 stars in person.
Yeah.
And you always are, Ryan.
Actually, you can't just portray like this cool, fun place that has great workouts and like cares about you. You actually have to do that. You have to be fun. You have to be cool. You have to care about them every single day. If I'm having a bad day, I can't like be, brash to my members. Or
I've never seen you in a bad mood.
That's probably false.
How is that?
That's probably very false, but I put on a good front sometimes.
Yeah, you do.
Put that to the side because,
Exactly.
People come to the gym for different reasons. And I always love when people like blindly will post something online about like, shout out to my gym for like, getting me through this awful like week of work and stuff. And, they never told you they were having a bad week at work. It's things that people keep to themselves, but like people use things in life as their way to escape some of their stresses. And they don't always share those with you. But the fact that like, they always say that you don't know what somebody else is going through, so don't judge them. Yeah, you don't know what anyone's going through. So I always just wanted to be like the most positive part of their day. So it's really cool when people post that or share something with you. And like you can feel like, yeah, I own a gym, but I'm way bigger than a gym.
Yeah.
Like this is way bigger than that. Like it's about, getting healthy and losing weight and getting stronger, but this is about mental health just as much as it is about physical health. And that's probably the biggest thing that I've learned about this style gym. And it really sets the bar really high for myself and all of my staff to make sure that, we are on our A game every day because, if somebody's not on their A game, like it's kind of our responsibility to bring them up or to make sure they leave here feeling better, feeling more positive about whatever than what they came in with.
Alpha.